Welcome to the A. Bartlett Giamatti Research Center here at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. I'm Craig Muter, Director of Communications for the Hall of Fame. With me is Tom Sheaver, our Senior Curator, and we are already celebrating the election of Ron Santo to the Hall of Fame as the first member of the class of 2012. And the Hall of Fame, Tom, we're really fortunate to have several artifacts that celebrate Ron Santo and those great Cubs teams of the 1960s and 70s.
Yeah, I mean, when you really think about it, the Cubs from like 1960, when Santo first joined, throughout the entire decade, they had Santo, Billy Williams, and Ernie Banks, and then peppered in there you've got a Lou Brock or you've got a Fergie Jenkins. So that's actually a real core of great Hall of Famers on those teams.
We pulled some artifacts out of collections today to take a look at. Tell me about what we've got here.
Well, first of all, we've got a baseball bat that was used by Billy Williams in the early 70s. He went 8 for 8 in a doubleheader using this bat. So that's really neat. A wonderful bat. This is a baseball hit by Ernie Banks for his 500th home run. So, and then actually the Cubs were here in 1971, here in Cooperstown. Ron Santo, Billy Williams, Ernie Banks, the whole gang. Leo DeRocher as a manager, so another Hall of Famer involved. They were here for the Hall of Fame game. And so they signed a ball, and all their signatures are on here, including Ron Santo's. And then we actually have a pair of celluloid buttons from the early 1970s celebrating the Cubs. There's Ron Santo and Fergie Jenkins. So we, here at the Hall of Fame, it's not just bat, ball, glove. We talk about a lot more than just baseball on the field, and pins are a little bit of a way to talk about pop culture and how important baseball is to American culture. So we collect those as well.
Those 1960s and 70s Cubs teams, they were dominant. Now, they didn't win the division or a pennant, but they were very good for a long period of time. And, when you think about the Cubs, the word lovable loser comes to mind. But in fact, the museum documents a long history of the Cubs being a very dominant team in the National League.
Yeah, and that was a super team. I mean, don't sell them short. They were very good. They also had a lot of great competition in the league at the time. But those are good Cubs teams. What's really fun about that trio of Banks and Williams and now Santo, which is really great, that it took 35 years from when Ernie Banks got into the Hall of Fame, and now 35 years later we've got the trio complete. But it sort of echoes the Tinker to Everest a Chance trio of the Cubs from the very beginning of the century. So and two great trios of Bear Cubs now are going to be in the Hall of Fame.
And now, Tom, we've come down here to the famous Hall of Fame plaque gallery. In just a few months, Ron Santo's bronze plaque is going to be hanging on these oak walls, a tremendous addition to the Hall of Fame family.
Absolutely. About 1% of Major League Baseball players make it into the Hall of Fame. So he's right there at the pinnacle, 9-time All-Star, 5-time Gold Glove winner at third base. And his plaque's going to be here permanently with the rest of these other plaques, great Hall of Famers, recent and long time past.
His legacy will be preserved forever right here in Cooperstown. July 22nd, Hall of Fame Induction Day. Come out and join us in Cooperstown or visit us online at baseballhall.org.